What's up, everybody? It's me, Joe Pisapia, back with another top 10 video here for my favorite bets for week 15. And oh boy, were we good last week. We got the two big upsets. We got Denver on the money line. We got the Bears on the money line. But you could feel some momentum shifting for a lot of teams here, especially in the playoff race, especially in the NFC. We kind of know who the big dogs are and who the little dogs are as well. And then the AFC looks like nobody wants to win that damn thing. So there's a lot to break down here in a slate of games that is going to be busy in terms of betting. But before we get to that busy slate of games, don't forget to make sure you drop your comments below, subscribe to our Betting Pros YouTube channel, and you just might win a 1-year free premium upgrade to the best betting tools on the planet to start betting smarter, not harder. And if you haven't tried the BP app, try it, because if you have iOS, you get 3 free days of premium just to try it out. And I know you're going to love it because, well, it's fantastic. So make sure you subscribe, ring that bell till it goes ding, and drop your comments below. And now, without further ado, let's get to my favorite things, the top 10 bets for week 15 in the NFL. Let's start things off with a simple win. The Falcons -3 and -110 in Carolina against the Panthers. You can get this one over at PointsBet. Look, the Panthers are a hot mess, and Bijan Robinson is going to be enough to help the Falcons win this game by more than a field goal, because at the end of the day, as much as I'm excited to see that Desmond Ridder had arguably his best statistical game as a pro, we know the stats say he's not the greatest road quarterback, so I don't want to get too excited about this one, but it feels like a lock. It feels kind of boring. It's a -110, but you know what? This is a good way to start our day with an easy W, so give me the Falcons on the road, which has been problematic this year, but again, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all, but I think they can at least beat the Carolina Panthers by 3 in Week 15. Number 9 on our list, the Giants +6, -109 against the Saints on the road in New Orleans. This one you can find over at BetRivers. Look, the Giants are having fun right now. They're a team that's playing loose. Kayvon Thibodeau's getting to the quarterback. Tommy DeVito's making some plays with his legs. And Saquon Barkley is getting fed the football. My problem is the Saints are a team that can't get out of their own way. And although this is a road game in New Orleans, I'm not confident that the Saints can handle their business and really win any game by 6 points at this point, unless maybe the Carolina Panthers were coming back into town again. So for me, this isn't so much about my faith in the Giants as it is my lack of faith in the Saints, the health of that team, plus also the state of mind. They, again, just can't seem to get on track all year. And the Giants at this point right now are starting to look a little bit more respectable in the last few weeks as Tommy DeVito continues to get more comfortable under center. Is he a world beater? No. Can he keep this one close? I think he can. So give me the Giants and the points in Week 15. Coming in at number 8 this week, the Bears and Browns. This one's in Cleveland, but give me the under 37.5 at -110 over at BetMGM. The Cleveland Browns have allowed the fewest passing yards of any defense this year. They get after the quarterback. That means they're going to get after Justin Fields, and Justin Fields is going to have to get out of the pocket, make some plays, and you know he's going to be able to do that with his legs. But if you can contain Justin Fields, you can keep this game under, and I'll tell you why. That Bears defense is no slouch either. They have played much better of late. Jaquan Brisker's back healthy. You also have Montez Sweat now sacking guys up front. So all of a sudden, this could be a long day at the office for both of these quarterbacks. The Bears are going on the road, not to mention the fact that the Browns have been very good at home in terms of giving up points. So give me the under in this one, as it feels a little bit more like a 17-14 kind of a game to me. Next up on our list for Week 15, the Texans at Titans. Give me the Titans -2 at -110 over at DraftKings. I want to jump on this one quickly, and here's why. It's not just because the Titans came up with a big win against Miami on Monday night. It's because of the uncertainty of CJ Stroud. Now, typically speaking, you have a concussion, there's a 20% chance you're going to play the next week. At the quarterback position, we've seen guys cleared a little quicker, but this is a very dicey scenario. Nico Collins also banged up. The Titans are playing really good up front, as always. You saw how they slowed down that rush attack of the Miami Dolphins last night. So for me, I think the Titans are an easy win here at -2, -110 over on DK. I think Levis can do enough here in this one with the inexperienced Texans, which feel like a team that was riding high and now come back to earth a little bit in this last week or so, playing some tougher games against some tougher opponents and some tougher defenses. And the Titans are going to be prepared for this game. So give me the Titans at home, even though it's a short week for them, with the uncertainty of the Texans quarterback health. And if all of a sudden he does play, this line's going to change, and you might lose that value, but I still like the Titans anyway. Next on our list this week at number 6, give me the Commanders at Rams over 48.5 at -110. I think in this game you could see not just Cooper Kupp, but also Puka Nacua go over 100 yards receiving, and you might think, hey, that doesn't seem like a bold prediction, except the fact it hasn't happened all year. The Washington Commanders secondary is no good. They don't get to the quarterback, and Matthew Stafford is coming off arguably his best game in quite some time. He looked great in Baltimore against the Ravens. He looked sharp, and he had time in the pocket. I think he's going to have that time again. The Commanders, we know, can do their part too in terms of putting up points. Sam Howell is turnover prone though, so that could even lead to more points in this game. I think the individual total for the Rams is going to be an over, but I think that 48.5 also is going to be an over as well. This one you can get a FanDuel, go lock it in, and I would be investing heavily in the market on Puka, on Cooper Kupp, and on Matthew Stafford in all of their overs and some touchdown props as well. Next up, let's go on the money line with the Dallas Cowboys +120 against the Bills. This one you can get a points bet. I know the Bills are the favorite, and I know that they are home in Buffalo. But the Bills barely escaped Kansas City with a victory, and the Bills just give me no confidence, period. End of story. The Cowboys, however, I know they've been very good at home and sometimes have struggled a little bit on the road, but they did give the Eagles all they could handle in Philly just a few weeks ago, and I think they're going to do that and then some in Buffalo this weekend. So give me the Cowboys, who are playing their best football right now on both sides of the ball, whereas the Bills are still kind of fumbling their way towards maybe a playoff berth. The Cowboys and the elite teams in the NFC are better than anybody right now in the AFC. I'm going to keep that logic. I'm going to keep with the Cowboys and take them on the money line in Week 15. All right, coming in at number 4 on our list, how about an upset special? The Bucs +154 on the money line in Green Bay on the road against the Packers over at BetMGM. Now, going into this week, I was looking ahead at this and saying this could be a great game for Jordan Love, but the uncertainty of Christian Watson's health and then Jaden Reed in concussion protocol and Dontavian Wicks now having a high ankle sprain, Jordan Love is running out of pieces here. Not to mention Aaron Jones' health has been a circus all season long. I'm worried that the Packers have enough firepower here to keep up with the Bucs offense. I love what the Packers have done the last few weeks before that Monday night loss, but right now it seems like the Packers are working at a deficit and the Buccaneers smell like they could actually find a way to win this pathetic NFC South. So give me Baker Mayfield on the road and the value of +154 at BetMGM for the upset for Tampa Bay. Coming up next, let's shift our attention to the awards market here for a second, because I've got a duo of bets for you. The first one, Joe Flacco, Comeback Player of the Year at +2,000 on FanDuel. Now, I know all year it's been Damar Hamlin, but Damar Hamlin hasn't even been active in a lot of games. And although that is a fantastic story of this young man battling incredible adversity and coming back just to even be alive, let alone play in the NFL, is a great story. But so is Joe Flacco's story as well, if he indeed can come off the couch and take this Cleveland Browns team that has trouble with the quarterback position all year long and vault them into the playoffs. That is a story that's going to pick up traction. Now, whether or not he wins this award, this is still something you can make money on at +2,000 on FanDuel and potentially cash out of it. Let's say they win this week. All of a sudden, that drumbeat for the Browns gets a little bit stronger and a little bit louder, which takes us to our next bet. AP Coach of the Year, Kevin Stefanski at +1,100 over on FanDuel, coming in at number 2 this week. Now, Stefanski's done an incredible job here, not just managing all the chaos between Watson and DTR and PJ Walker and then Joe Flacco, but also, let's not forget, they lost Nick Chubb in the second week of the season, and here we are now. The Browns are looking like a playoff team and maybe a team that could even compete for the AFC crown. And I think Stefanski has to get a lot more credit than some of the other coaches. Dan Campbell's still the top of this board, but Detroit is clearly going in a bad direction right now. And I want to start pounding the table for Kevin Stefanski and this Browns team. They are a few wins away from locking up a playoff berth. And if they do, I think Stefanski, Joe Flacco, and this entire Browns roster deserve some more respect. And lastly, the worm is turned in the NFC. Give me the 49ers to not just win their division, win the conference, but let's go all the way to the Super Bowl at +260 over on FanDuel. This one is worth making a big investment in, and I'll tell you why. Right now, with that pass rush they've got going on, with the running attack they've got going with Christian McCaffrey, with Brock Purdy looking very sharp and utilizing George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel to the fullest. Right now, it seems like it's the 49ers championship to lose. And you know they're going to have that #1 seed as of right now. That means a bye week, which is huge because only one team in each conference gets that. And then there's just 2 playoff games to get to the Super Bowl. Again, this is a great way to make money. I already cashed out all my Eagles bets last weekend before the Cowboys game. Made money on them. Now it's time to reinvest that money on the 49ers. To me, they look like the class of the NFL. Nobody in the AFC looks good to me. The Eagles look like they are stammering and stuttering and puttering around. And the Cowboys, although they looked great against the Eagles this weekend, I don't know if I trust them to go on the road to San Fran to win a big game there or an NFC Championship game to get to the Super Bowl. So give me the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. Let's lock in this value now before it gets away. There you have it, everybody. Those are my bets for Week 15, but I want to hear from you, the people. You drop your comments below. Tell me your favorite picks, all of them. I want to hear from you in those comments, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, because if you leave those comments and you subscribe, remember, you win free stuff like a Betting Pros Premium 1-year subscription. That pays for itself because it's free. It also makes you money. So really, everyone's winning. That'll do it for me, but the story of the game goes on. We'll see you next time, kids.